Welcome back, everybody. What's going on? I see you all in the building already. Man, it is Friday. We living high. We got Live, Laugh, Love in the building already. Got June Brown. What's happening? We're going to get some more folks in this building. While we wait for some more folks to come in this building, I got some new artwork there. Tell me if you like that design. I think it's nice and classy. Super classy. Actually, let's see if I put myself down here. Nope, it's going to cover up my stuff. I put myself there. Nope, I don't want to be there. Yeah, nope, too small. Let's go back right here. What's going on, Kathy Thompson? I'm glad you're rolling in the building. I know it's slow moving. My girl ADP was on a little bit ago. I don't know if she's still on. I know she's going to be closing down here in just a sec. I see you, big girl. What's happening? Let's give some folks some time to get in the building. While we do that, none other than that, let's go ahead and get a little bit of tunes on. Y'all know how it is. Y'all know what time it is. Give us some time to come in there. Come on in the building. When you come in the building, hit the like button. Hit the like button. Don't be afraid to hit that like button. We love seeing that like button. Get it. Get it. In the building, hit the like button, y'all. Who else can roll through? Let's see who else rolls through. Got our old faithfuls in the building. Get some more people rolling through. We'll get some more rolling. Yes. Hey, y'all, let them know when they come in the building. Hit the like button. Hit the like button. We got Brian Lewis in the building. We sure do. We got Mary in the building. Yep. Is my sound clear, you guys? My sound clear? Let me get the link to. Let me get the link to the good old faithful ADP. Get the ID type. As a matter of fact, the link is going to go in the chat today. We're going to chat today because it is Chat Fridays. The link is in the chat. The link is in the chat. Let me know if it sounds fuzzy or not. I want to make sure it's perfectly clear. Let's see. Come in and hit the like button. Come in and hit the like button. Come in and hit the like button. If I can switch this to the headphones, yeah. I'll throw myself down for a second. You guys go ahead and have a nice little conversation with the people. All right. Try to give some more people some time to get in here. We got Omega Red in the building. What's going on, Omega Red? Who else? We got you waiting on some more people. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Hit the like button. Let's get ready to get started. I don't know what's been happening on these Fridays. It's getting slow-mo on Fridays. I don't know if everybody's trying to catch up or what, but moving a little bit slow on Fridays. And we do know that we have the Fever game coming up. The Fever game is coming up. And yes, we're going to show it on the Players Club. We'll show it on the Players Club. I want to get this in and I want to get in and out of here. I went from having an hour and 15 minutes to only having an hour. With the folks in the building, make sure you hit that like button when you come through. Hit the like button. I'm set for the same time every other day, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I take my weekends off unless I'm doing an extra show. Keisha and I, we will be on tomorrow for the Full Court Trio. So make sure you are there, live, awake, and ready for some good old conversation. ADP ain't make it over yet. Where's ADP? Is ADP still on, guys? ADP still on. Let's see. All right. Well, I don't wait quite a bit. Get some more folks in the building, but we just gonna go ahead and get started. Let's go ahead and turn down the tunes as usual. We're gonna turn them down so you can hear me loud and clear. Got that little fake sound in the background, so that works out perfect. Let me know if you guys are not able to hear me extremely clear. Because it's hot and I got my fan on, I can turn the fan off. If the fan is bothering you guys, let me know. I can turn it off, but I do want to make sure that you all are able to hear me nice and clear. Nice and clear. That's all I want to know. If you can hear me nice and clear, put a 1 in the chat. With that being said, it's Friday. It is Friday. Big Friday. We got a big game coming up next. You got Dallas Wings and the Indiana Fever coming on at 6:30. We will be in the building. But welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to CourtVision with SoPrettyToni, as always. And Dream fans, if you are only a Dream fan and you are in the building, you are always welcome, because this here has become one of the Dream channels, because our girl Angel Reese is there. Not only that, the Dream is my home team. So been following them, but I've been on it even more now since good old Angel has come aboard. But we have a lot to talk about, because Atlanta Dream went into Connecticut and absolutely handled business. Atlanta Dream 104 to Connecticut 69. Remember, guys, the link is in the chat if you want to come up, but make sure if you're coming up that you're respectful. If you're not respectful, we're gonna put you up out this camp. That's all I'm saying. What up, ADP? ADP. Hey, Chica. There's the link. Come on up. She said, get ready to eat, but I'm listening. Okay, no, go ahead, eat your food, because I know we got something else going on later. So go ahead and enjoy your meal. But the link is there for those that would like to come up. But remember, again, if you're not respectful, you ain't coming up in this camp. That's all I'm saying. This wasn't a nail biter game. This was a real live fourth quarter escape. They definitely tried. This was not one of those this time. Because we're always working our way out of a game down the stretch where we have to try to claw, scratch, and grab in that fourth quarter to try to get up out of it. But this here was one of those dominating games. Rhyne Howard came out on fire. Allisha Gray said, anything you can do, Rhyne Howard, I can do too. And Angel Reese was snatching rebounds like they belonged to her, and they were going out of style. The store was on sale, and she had to collect them all by snagging down 15 boards. Look, I don't care what nobody say. You can talk all day long about what you think it is, about what you think you want it to be. Anything you want to say about Angel, say about it. But one thing you can't say is that she doesn't give effort. Even on days that she is not able to give you a 20-point game. That's something that she absolutely do not have to have. When you got players like Rhyne Howard and Allisha Gray putting up 29 points, combining for 58 of their team's 104 points, Reese grabbing 15 of those boards, as Atlanta improved to 21 and 12, man, it ain't much else you can say about that. I'm going to say that I hope that this next game be a great one. It's going to be interesting to see. So we're going to break this down a little bit. The shooting, the defense, Angel Reese making franchise history every single game moving forward with any board that she snagged down for the Atlanta Dream. And so, yeah, let's get into it. CourtVision. Now, part one. And I'm breaking this down by parts because I want to talk about each individual player by themselves, so we have a clear understanding for those that didn't see the game or those that think they know but don't know, and we're going to give you the information anyway. Let me start with Rhyne Howard, because Rhyne Howard wasn't playing. She wasn't playing around with this Connecticut team. And I know people say, well, she had a stellar game and she was on a big run. Can she do that against a big team? I would rightfully say she could. She was just in the shooting slump. So let's see, when we play the next game, that would tell a story, because that next game will be none other than Sunday against the Indiana Fever, to whom is getting ready to play right now. They're getting ready to play Dallas Wings. So, she scored 10 of the Atlanta's 12 points, and this is Rhyne Howard. 10 of the Atlanta's first 12 points, and she had 23 points at halftime. What's up, June Brown? Yes, her defense was definitely on lockdown. It was definitely on lockdown. See, June Brown, Angel Reese defense was on lockdown against the Suns. Also, those blocks were awesome, especially when she blocked Brittany Griner 3 times and she took the ball from her. Absolutely. Always. It's always going to be a show with Angel. People just have to get their popcorn and enjoy the show and not take it too far. But again, Rhyne Howard putting up the first 10 of the 12 points for the Atlanta Dream and having 23 points in the first half is an absolute great game for her. It doesn't matter if you're playing a team that hasn't been that stellar this season, or if you're beating a team that's at a top tier. Rhyne Howard could do it all when she set her mind to it. So think about it. If you ain't thinking, then you don't know anything about the game. Think about it. When she has her mind set, there's absolutely nothing that young lady can do. So let's put the scoreboard up here while we go over there, although I want to show off my nice artwork. I think you guys get the gist. Let's put it up here. Let's go to it. Where is it? I hate when y'all move around on me. Don't move around. Don't move around. There you go. There you go. So you can see it nice and clear. Then we will definitely scoot up a little bit later when we get ready to get to Connecticut. But yes, When you think about what Rhyne Howard is capable of doing, and I think we've all said it all year long, those that are big Dream fans or Ryan, uh, big Ryan fans, we all know Howard can go at any moment. And when she's clicking, she's clicking. Sometimes she hit that first one and there's no looking back. And that happened to be this game. Connecticut barely had time to settle into the game before Ryan started putting pressure on them with those nice deep balls. We have to think about that. What's going on, Cap? I'm glad you're in the building. Welcome, welcome. Happy Friday. Glad you are here. Glad you are here. So with Rhyne Howard, she finished with 29 points, She had 5 3-pointers, 5 of them things early before she started missing. So she was 5 for 5, and then she ended up going 5 for 8, which she made those first 5 and just was not able to capitalize on those last 3. But what she gave Atlanta Dream in this game yesterday was something that was much needed, especially from her standpoint. And pushing the team, pushing the narrative of the game early versus allowing Connecticut to come in and try to settle in at any point in this game. The Dream just ran away with it, didn't even give them a chance to even think that they had even a clue to be able to get into this game. Having also 4 assists, being 7 of 10 of shooting and 10 of 11 from the free throw line. You can't ask for very much of that for Rhyne Howard. And here's the crazy part. She did all of the damage in only 29 minutes. Go figure. She did all the damage in 29 minutes, which we know Ryan is one of the players that has the most minutes because guess what? She's the franchise player. Atlanta believes in her. And so she has pretty much the final say when it comes to minutes. But that was good that she was able to give what she gave and only play 29 minutes all at the same time for Angel and Rod to kind of rest their bodies for the most part as much as they can in this month of April before they head off to play for Team USA. It's going to be interesting. That efficiency, that is huge efficiency, period. And that is great for her going into September for Team USA. When Rhyne Howard is hitting the 3, attacking defense, and also getting to the free throw line like she did, Atlanta becomes extremely difficult to defend. And that's why I want to see her. I want to see her do that for the remainder of the season against all the teams. That's definitely going to be needed in the next game for sure. Period. From her, from Leash, from Angel, from Nas, all of your big shooters. Nas, once she gets crazy on shooting, she too could put up anywhere from 15 to 17, 18 points herself. So in the next game, we're going to need all of that. We're going to need absolutely all of it. What's going on today, sweets? I'm glad you're in the building. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Come on in. If you're in the building, make sure you hit the like button. Hit the like button. And if you're not subscribed, please go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Hit that notification bell so you are notified every single time I drop. Super easy, but you already know that I go on Monday, Wednesdays, and Friday at 5 o'clock. Sometimes I come on about 5:15, 5:30, given my work schedule, but there are times that I am actually here on time. The same thing goes for Tuesdays and Thursdays. I am on Full Court Trio with Keisha, LaKeisha Green. At that time, we talk all business, not just some business, but all business on a Full Court Trio. So please, if you are not following that channel, please make sure that you are following that channel as well. So now you get to see CourtVision with SoPrettyToni. You get to see me Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. And don't tell me that you're going to be sick of me because I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear from you at all. You're going to hear from me anyway. But now let's get back to it. The other thing is Atlanta didn't have to wait until the fourth quarter to put Connecticut away. They put them away early. The Dream led 28-17 after the first quarter, and then 51-32 at halftime. Now, chat. I got a question for you, chat. When Rhyne Howard is playing like this, where do you rank her among the best guards in the WNBA? Time is now. Answer. Again, when Rhyne Howard is playing like this, like she played last night, where does she rank amongst the other guards in the league? Don't you put me on pause. Don't you put me on pause, big girl. At least you're getting me once a day for 5 days instead of 12 times a day. But yes, tell me, answer the question. Tell me what you think. I want to know. I'm inquiring minds. I want to know. With Rhyne Howard, you see her as 4. June said 4. For Live, Laugh, Love, she says 3. Interesting. I don't know. I think she is definitely one of the top guards in the league. Top 6. Yep. Big girl say top 6. Kathy Thompson says top 6. I'm definitely gonna go anywhere between top 5, top 6. Absolutely. I think that when you look at who's in front, and we're just talking about guards only, she's definitely in that single-digit number. Trey Head, welcome to the building. I'm glad you're here. It says without consistency, I can't rank her at this point. I'm hoping for the best while preparing for something else. I mean, I can rank her. She's most certainly had some rough days and been in a shooting slump. And sometimes shooters will end up in a shooting slump. It's what you do to get out of it. I think that she's found her way. Is she going to give the team 20 points every night? No. Moving forward. But most certainly, I see her putting up some numbers that definitely kind of keeps her in the double-digit category. But it's the other things that's most important that she's doing too, Dreadhead and chat. It's the defense. I know sometimes she looks like she's getting cooked, but she also makes some great stops. She is definitely in that number in steals. So if she wasn't playing any defense at all, I don't think she would be in that category for most steals. So I think about her, JC and Angel. They're all up there in those numbers when it comes to steals on the in a game, per game, pretty much for these young ladies. Let's see. Brian Lewis says, I need to see her do it against better teams. Yes, just talked about that. We're going to find out. We're going to find out here shortly because we're going to play the Fever. Right now, the Fever tonight is getting ready to play the Dallas Wings, but we most certainly will see how she fare amongst that. Now, moving right along from that, we're going to get on and talk about Allisha Gray. Allisha Gray said, don't forget about me, right? Don't forget about me, friend. I'm here. Let's go. Now, we talked about Allisha Gray. Because while Rhyne was cooking, Allisha Gray was right there on her side. She was right there, whether it be left or right. She said, Gray also finished with 29 points and knocked down 4 or 5 three-pointer attempts herself. We know what we're going to get from Allisha Gray. Allisha Gray plays hard all the time. So Rhyne gives you 29. Allisha Gray gives you 29 for a total of 58 points between the two stars on the team. And then we'll get into Angel. We'll get into Angel. We ain't gonna talk about her. We're gonna get to her next. I want to give them each their own time because right now we're talking about Lee. And this is why Atlanta can be kind of scary at times, in my opinion, when it comes to scoring and shooting, because you don't know what you're gonna get any given night, right? It kind of tells the story a little bit, but if nobody gives you points and can kind of keep you in the game, it is most definitely Allisha Gray. She's always able to get find a way to get that score or be a scoring or a positive influence in scoring to the rest of the team by always being that leader on the floor and always dominating when it comes to points on the board for the Atlanta Dream. And then they say, who are you talking? Who are you taking away if you don't have Leash? Who would you take away if you couldn't get those buckets or Ryan wasn't there? If you focus so much on Ryan and you had so much attention on Ryan, it afforded Gray the opportunity to get what she needed to get. She can hurt you. She can hurt you dangerously on the floor if you spend all your time worrying about Rhyne Howard. And so that's what Rhyne Howard brings to the team. That willingness to want to pull the defender and pull other players along like a string, but at the same time, when she's not clicking, then Allisha Gray is. At that point, you start sending extra attention towards Gray at that moment when she starts cooking like that. So Ryan is definitely one of those people. I'm waiting to see. I am waiting to see what she does in the very next game, because I think that again she may have found her way out of that shooting slump, and so the fact remains we will definitely see in another day or two. Atlanta has the time, and they have that what I'm trying to say with that, they have that time where when they look at the very next game moving forward from this one, it affords them the opportunity to put themselves in a great shooting position, because having Angel puts a whole lot of eyes on them. But if you put eyes on Ryan, then it takes the eyes off of Gray, and Gray can do dirt. If you're locked in on Gray, then you have Rye that can turn around and put you in the dirt also. But Atlanta as a creative team when it comes to shooting, having that creative ability to find a bucket. You find situations like 14 of 26 from threes, which is absolutely a really great number that we would love to see as to what they had. And let's scroll down so you can see that. Yep, there you go. See? And so it affords you the opportunity right there to give you 54% from downtown, and that's important. They also went 32 of 36 from the free throw line. So, got to give it to them. If you definitely combine that kind of outside shooting with aggressive play, that gets you to the line every time, or does it? Does it get you to the line, or it gets you charges? I think it gets you to the line if you're putting up those kind of shots, but then you are shooting it extremely aggressively. Whether you knock it down, you get an and one or not, you absolutely put yourself in a position to afford a second opportunity at the line or second chance shot when it comes from Angel Reese snagging down the boards. And that's how you end up putting 104 points on a scoreboard at any given time. Now, this is another question, because I set this up where I have a question for each one of these players. Rhyne Howard and Allisha Gray combined for 58 points. Is that the best backcourt wing combination in the W? When they're both, and I'm going to say when they both rolling at the same time. Tell me that. Again, Rhyne Howard and Allisha Gray combined for 58 points in that backcourt. Tell me, having that type of combination in the WNBA, where does that both? Where's that gonna put them? Where does that roll? June Brown, Tony, don't think people realize how hard it is to play good defense and offense, and that's what the Atlanta Dream Team does. They do. People talk about the spur of the moment times June Brown, but I don't think they realize. Sometimes you'll see me kind of, what you doing, JC? Come on, right? Like, I'll do those things, right? But I understand the game. That's just an emotion. But I understand the game that when you have to go full speed an entire game, the entire time, trying to cover whichever player comes your way that has that speed and agility, you're going to get tired. So there's more times where you'll see these players end up not having a really good finish or something here and there. So I will rank them at 3. You rank them at 3? Yeah, I most definitely would rank them there as well. That is the number that was in my head. I will rank them 3 as well. What about the rest of you, chat? You got to tell me, with those two as a backcourt duo, where do you see them being ranked in their role in the W? So, man, I'm just asking. It's a really good question. We need Pow and Navarre to step up. You do. Pow has to come back from her injury. I really would like to see her come back from whatever this injury it is that she has, because we need her. We need her to show up in those big moments. Now, moving right along to Angel, MF, and Reese. We're going to move on over to Reese for a little bit. And let's bring the scoreboard down where you can see her a little bit. Right up top. Right up top. Did she have a bad shooting game? But at the end of the day, it's okay. What's up, Woody Mack? He said he ranks them 4th. That is definitely a good number. But we're going to now move on to Angel Reese. Angel Reese didn't need to put up 20 points to impact this game, guys. She did not need to put up 20 points. 3 of 13 is crazy. We've seen that number before several times in the past 5 years of the W. We have not seen it from Angel. We've seen some pretty rough games while she was on the Sky, but she always managed to end up with a double-double somehow. This was not one of those games, but it didn't matter. And I want people to understand that Angel doesn't really care about the double-double. Like she said 100 times over, it doesn't matter unless you win. If you ain't winning, it don't matter. So I think I said she had her first really, really bad game against the Mystics, the last game. We do know that she didn't play that well early on in that first game against Vegas, but her worst game was that game. And even being in a shooting slump this game, or not being able to finish well in this game, this still was not her worst game. You know why? Because she did everything else. Every single thing else that you could possibly do on the floor, her defense was stellar. Being able to block the shots. And again, as you guys can see, they did not count one of her blocks. And this happens to her every game. Either they don't count a block, or they won't count a rebound, or they'll give it to her and then you'll see it be wiped away. I've seen that at least 4 times this season. I'll use one, for example, where she had 9 boards, 8 points, and look back down and it was 8 points, 8 boards. And it's like, what are you talking about? So I don't know. I'm not accusing anybody. I'm not truly speculating. Maybe they gave her somebody else's rebound. I doubt that. But to see numbers move is crazy. I saw numbers move on one other player, and that was Caitlin Clark. And that was one game I saw where she had, I believe it was 5 turnovers or something like that by half. And someone was like, no, 4. And I was like, no, 5. I just read it off. But then you go back up and you look again and it's 4. And it's like, I know I ain't blind. I know I didn't say that wrong. I don't want to chalk somebody up to having more turnovers than they're supposed to, because that's not a good thing, right? So I just need whoever's at these score tables or messing with these numbers, they need to get the numbers right, and they need to get the numbers right immediately and not fiddle with the board. Let's see. Oh, that's Brother Case. I gotta get something for him in just a little bit. Let me do this real quick, guys. Y'all go ahead and talk amongst yourself. I see ADP. Let me get you in here. What up, ADP?
Hey, Tony.
You good? You good?
Well, I guess.
you guess after I sat there and talked about your player.
Yeah, Miss D, you and Miss D, and look, ooh.
Hey, I wasn't talking about him. I was just saying he needs to stop being so cheeky with the number.
Yeah, you would, Tony. I get what you were saying. You know what I'm saying? Miss D just did BTA on them today. You know,
he got to stop being so cheeky with the number. I mean, take it as a compliment, right? That someone, regardless of the fact that the young man, that has been his number all his life, since he's ever played sport. My son was like that, but then he changed his number on his own. He was number 5, and he decided to change his number to 12. And then, because 12 used to be my number, when he got to middle school, he wanted to change to his mom's number. But then his godmom passed away, and she was really big name in San Antonio. One of the best to ever do it when it came to softball, also basketball, playing for St. Mary's University. And he decided when she passed away, he changed his number to 22 to honor her. So, you just have like different situations and scenarios as to why young ones do what they do and why they make the decisions for numbers. And I just think that JD, I don't think that he thought about what he was saying very clearly, because no one is stealing your thunder. That soldier, listen to me, soldier. My soldiers must be talking about me. That young man is not coming in, players not coming in to steal his thunder. He just knows that that's a number that he asked for. He was promised if he came there, that's the number he can wear. So my thing is, JD, are you really willing to lose one of the top recruits in the upcoming freshmen because of a number? Once your number is ready to be retired, I'm almost certain that you're going to be just fine, right? Or you retire the number. And that's all I was saying. Like, don't make a big deal out of it, guy. Don't do it, my guy. Don't do it, my guy. Let that be a blessing, and let it work for you. I'll pull this down a little bit so we can kind of see the artwork. I think the artwork is super, super cool.
Oh, yeah, I like it.
I don't want to mess this up. There we go. I'll put up in each corner. I set that up where we can be on each corner. You kind of get to see the artwork a little bit. Right now, I love my team.
I got one question.
Uh-huh.
Why we got Carlisle in the middle?
Hey, that's the coach. You gotta put the coach. You gotta put the coach up there, y'all. You gotta don't be doing that to the coach. The coach is coach. I don't know why my girl Navar and Pow Pow ain't in this picture, but it's a very beautiful picture. I loved it. I wanted to go ahead and put it on stage and put
Yeah,
my round table talk or my guest talk right there in the middle. I also have it without the mic and desk there as well. But I think it's really, really cool.
it is.
I
It
like it.
is.
I like it. I have
It
one of the
is.
dang coolest names on YouTube. CourtVision was so pretty, Tony. That's be
And
me.
that is cute.
That be
And
me.
that's all you too, Tony. That's all you.
So we talk about Angel Reese and not having to be one of those players that need to put up 20 points a game. Hey,
No.
Live Laugh Love said this looks like a championship picture, Tony. It does, doesn't it? So I'm gonna put it up today, and then I'm gonna pull it down until they get to the playoffs. Because I might even come up with one more stellar where I make sure that I have my girl Pow Pow in there, and I definitely want to see uh, Navar in there. We also don't have Sherrod in there, but these are the players that absolutely play the most. They're dominating the game, but I'm also glad that, as you can see, I added my girl. Okat in the back over there. See, I kind of twinged her up there.
Looking over. I like girl. I like it. I see parlays
I wish
over
I could
there.
have turned her around where she's facing like Bree, but I was trying to rush and get my thumbnail together. So there we are.
Oh, okay. It looks good. June. I know he the coach. I was in the nurturing corner for Carl June, and then he start. He be acting up, June.
Yeah,
Whew.
we know he act
It's
up sometimes, but he's okay. I mean, we got to remember
not his character. I'm just talking about
he's
the
new to the
coaching part.
W, y'all. He's new to the W. If we gonna sit here and we gonna give Tyler Marsh grace,
We not.
we got to give this guy some grace because his first year he came in and the team was third going into the playoffs. Yes, did they get bumped out in the first round? Yes, they did. Yes, they did. That's what happens when you have a player such as Rhyne Howard, who's very capable of putting up 29 at any given time, not having such a great shooting opportunity or night given whatever game they played, right? And then the same thing when you don't have your team to match your energy. But the other thing that we got to understand is that always say, stop the music and hold the press. What's up with Bree? It says, Dre, she hurt her leg. Did we get a confirmation on that leg, y'all? Did we get a
No, they said
confirmation
she'll
on her
be.
hurt
Yeah,
leg?
they were saying in my chat that she should be back on the 16th.
Oh, so she's just gonna sit out. She's gonna sit out. Well, no sitting out. So she'll be there for the dream. She'll be there for the Dream versus Fever game. We need her the Dream versus the Fever game, but I also don't want to force something if she is not
Right,
100%.
right.
You just do enough to survive. The numbers just change for the top 8 right now. I don't see any other
hmm
teams screeching in there. I just think the positioning of the numbers changes at that time. There's that's it. That's all I can pretty much say when it comes to that. So if they need to rest Bree, then they need to rest Bree. Remember, they're going to pull, and that question was asked to Carl already about how he's going to be able to pull some of these players. Pull Angel and Rye uh, often, so that way that they won't be so um, out of it or jacked up or having overuse before they get to head on in September to play for Team USA. And so with her putting up those 29 points pretty much in something minutes, that's a heck of a thing. That is one heck of a thing. So I'm extremely excited when it comes to that. But again, Angel not having to put up 20 points in games when she's giving you solid defense is absolutely crazy. She had 4 blocks in that game. She had a steal. I thought she had 2 steals. Nope, she did. She had 3 steals. She had 3 steals, an assist, 4 blocks. So it looked like they ended up giving it to her because they had her down for 3, but it looks like they went back and they gave it to her. So she does have all 4 blocks because that's exactly what she had. And in this game, she had the most blocks out of both teams. So kudos to Angel for that. Just the defensive stops that she had, snagging down 15 boards. You really truly can't ask for more than that. You would love for her to put up some points, but points aren't really needed when you got Rhyne and Leash putting up 58 points by themselves. All she would have done was enhance what they've already done and probably won by more than 104. So I'm cool with that. What's going on, Tippy Cole? You know the
Hey,
link is
Tiffy.
in the chat, Tiff. Let me put it back in there if you don't see it, so it's nice and fresh. Again, y'all, this is chat Friday. This is panel Fridays. So as long as you got something knowledgeable to talk about and you not come up here with BS, shoot, come on up. We are good. We are talking about none other than the Dream versus Connecticut right now. I don't want to have anybody come up here and talk about the Fever. I don't need nobody coming up here talking about talking about the Aces, because we're not talking about them right now. We're simply talking about the Dream, what they look like right now. What do we think they will be able? How we think they will be able to contend moving forward, and the players, and extremely more so about Rhyne Howard being able to be the dominating force in some more caliber games than none. Like I said, she was in a shooting slump, but I do believe she is on her way back. We've had about maybe 4 or 5 games in these last 5 games where she's actually shot the ball pretty decent. So, what do you think more so about that, ADP?
I don't have a problem with it, Tony, altogether. Um, so look, we sometimes some days we'll get the shot. Some days they'll do better in other spots. That don't come on the stat sheet.
Right.
Oh, what happened to Tony? Oh, okay.
Oh no, I'm
Yeah,
right here. I'm getting ready to turn this fan off.
I think we sometimes we get so spoiled with those points, we stop looking at the other things they can do. Sometimes. But they'll get there. I think the way that overall the whole game was played, I think everybody did a pretty, a pretty good job and helping each other out. I played that play, Tony, where Angel and Okai, and she had blocked BG those 3 times, and Okai was on the other side. That was just a good video to watch, to see that the 2 bigs were able to do that. Like, they had each other's back at the time, even though Angel said, "I got your number," and it was like she was on a block spree. But they loved that. Her and BG love that type of stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But
So
as we can, and I'm gonna put that up here in a little bit,
okay.
where you get to see like players like Angel and AB. I mean, Brittany Griner going at it. Remember, those are both Kim Mulkey girls. They all played for Mulkey. Whether they were on Baylor or LSU, it doesn't matter. You got to see the photo with Mulkey and Odyssey Sims.
Oh yeah, that
Another
was
one of her
beautiful,
players.
Tony. Yeah.
You should get one at some point with Larissa Smith, Dejanay Carrington. They played for her. There's so many players that played for Kim Mulkey, and they're all out here and they're still balling. They're still doing a fantastic job out here. But at the same time, Angel not having to put up 20 points is absolutely a great thing. When people are looking for her to score, yes, we want her to finish around the basket. And I see you, Woody Mac. Give me a second. We know that she should finish, right? She was 3 of 13. At some point, look, you can tell when frustration sets in for her. You can tell it sets in early with certain games by the way the refs are calling the game. Yes, you play through it sometimes, but it gets to be so frustrating for that young lady and I see it, right?
Right, Tony.
But she still fights through it. And she
Yep.
doesn't, you know, I almost want to say that you should have made that foul more than a flagrant one,
Yeah,
because it
me
was
too.
a grab, like her hand closed on top of Angel's face. If we could do the same for other players, said players in the league, then we should be able to do the same for her. That's two hard fouls that she's gotten. Well, the third one. The second one was Brittany Griner before before this, right after her run in with old crazy girl Harrison over there with the tempo, and then now this is the third time. But she does get hacked quite a bit, hacked, push. So people are like, well, she's very aggressive. She has to be, because it's three people being sent at her, and then how else is she supposed to be able to help and fit and fight for her team? But that's where I'm at with that. Her 8 points to me was enough. Again, you got Ryan and Leach giving you 58 points. Go ahead, Wardy Mac. What's going on, Wardy Mac? Are you with us? Wardy, you with us, Wardy? I don't think his mic is working. I don't think his mic is working.
Mm-hmm.
He said mic working. I don't know. We can't hear you. We can't hear you on the panel. Said June Brown said, I saw that, Tony, and that was a hard foul. Yeah, it was an extremely hard foul. I think sometimes you have to, she goes, well, she hit me. Well, she hit you because she doesn't know that you're behind her. She's just getting the ball and going up with it. And you just happen to be there. Like, I don't think fouls like that absolutely should be an offensive call at all when an offender has a ball and a player's behind them and it's just an accidental foul. Those I don't think should be called, not even a flagrant. I don't think that they should be getting a touch foul or anything for that. But when because you're trying to hold yourself from falling, you grab her by her entire face. It's crazy to me. Right? At this point, you got to put them out of the game. You got to put them out of the game. Go in the back and reflect. Go in the back, reflect on what you just did. Sometimes you're just going to have a hard fall because you don't want to have to foul the person in front of you and get ejected out of the game. I also saw Sanaya Rivers jump her happy ass up. Sanaya, you and Angel are like sisters. Don't do it. Don't do it. Angel going to put you in the blender. Don't do it, Sanaya. We like you. We like you. I'm just saying.
I think I got it now.
Yes, you working. Go ahead, Woody Mac.
I knew I had it because I'm here on my desktop computer, and when I see the meter moving, I know I got it. I didn't have the right mic connected.
Yeah.
Oh, I just took a glance at the current standings where everything is at, and man, the movement. I think for the most part, we're pretty much certain which teams are gonna make it. Right, I don't think there's going to be no surprise now. Portland is the next closest in Phoenix, and it just doesn't look like any team that's not already in playoff contention is going to make it. I saw New York moved up to 6. Right, there's the Liberty at 6. Mystics was in that area of a day or two ago. So it's basically right now it's like fight 4 to 8. I guess is fighting for playoff seeding, and I guess we assume 1, 2, 3 is kind of a lot. Where they're gonna be in that 1, 2, 3, but the teams that are in 1, 2, 3, the Lynx at 1 right now, Valks at 2, and Aces at 3. I guess that most people would agree that they're probably gonna be somewhere those 3 in that top 3 seeding. So what I was saying to Miss ADP, and first I'll salute everybody. What I was saying though to ADP, where this gets spooky though is the 4-5 matchup for everybody, right? I believe the Aces and the Lynx can get got. More than likely the Valks will get out of the first round, whoever they're gonna see in the first round. But I believe that the Lynx and the Aces both can get got by one of the teams that they're gonna see in the 7 and 8, depending on who it is. And that 4-5 is scary because it looks like it's gonna be the dream or the fever in the 4 or the 5, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
when
Those
it's
two
all
will
said and done,
probably
according to what the
continue.
record looked like.
Yeah, they'll probably continue to battle back and forth. Um, It'll be tough to see them either one of them drop below, right? I mean, they're pretty much 2 games. Both of them are 2 games behind New York. Um, Washington is still Washington is still under, so they have room to be able to catch somebody and not end up playing the Lynx first, but end up playing Golden State. That's a matchup I would love to see.
Who?
2 and 7, which would be Golden State. Not, I would love to see. Of course, I really don't want Dallas at 8, but I think that they could beat the Valks as well. So I agree with you for sure on that.
So it's all circumstantial seeding, but don't take it as just a homer take when I say let's say for all intents and purposes, because it's 21 wins, Atlanta, Indiana, New York. Let's say for all intents and purposes, New York moves up in that 4-5, which is a possibility. It's not far from the realm of possibility. I know we ain't gonna probably get Satu back at all, but Leone would be back, right? There's the possibility. Whoever sees New York in the 4-5 got a problem on their hand, whether it be the Fever or the Dream. I mean, I know what the Dream fans gonna say. I'm sorry. It's just, hey, if we get at least a Leone Fevich is back, right? First round, I don't see nobody knocking off New York. I don't see Breonna Stewart letting nobody. I don't care if we're in the 8th spot and it's the Lynx, the 7, the 6, the 5, the 4. I don't see Bree Stew letting nobody knock them off in the first round in the 3 game, right? She gonna probably turn up. I will put your next super chat on that. I'll put your next super chat on that. Ain't nobody knocking you off. Bet nobody's knocking off New York in the first round in the 3 game, and Bree Stew ain't having that.
Chat, y'all hear that? Make sure he own up on that bet.
Hey, $5 is $5.
I'm about to say, don't be coming up here with no 99-cent chat, no 99-cent super chat.
It's gonna be more than $2. It's gonna be more than my usual $2. But yeah, 4-5. That 4-5, like I said, could be spooky hours. And if New York slides into that 4, that 5 spot, whoever's there is in trouble, right? Then what I say is, what I was saying to Miss Toni, where it's problematic. Well, but it can be beneficial to the Dream. If they don't have to see New York, they don't have to see the Fever, because they know that's going to be tension. Every other team, I think they could have a fair fighting chance at end. Probably do some damage, sweep it. I think even if they fell to the 6 or the 7, I think they could beat the Valves because they got more offensive firepower. If they have to see the Aces, you know what that would do for legacy wise. If you in the first round, you got to see the Aces. You in the 6th, and you knock the Aces off. What that does for legacy, I know it doesn't. A lot of people don't necessarily care per se about the optics, but just imagine that. Not saying I want to see them lose or fall back, but if for New York goes hot, stays hot, the Dream maybe give away 1 or 2, and they fall to the 6. They got to see the Aces. And you knock off the Aces, what that can do for legacy wise, what that does for the name. Oh my God. Right?
Oh, I hear it. I see it.
I can see the vision. I can see they'd be calling it the passing of the torch. Man. But in that 4-5 spot is spooky hours. That's why I think it's not favorable. It's not favorable because whoever they got to see in that spot, it's gonna be dirty. And when I say dirty, I mean like people gonna be fighting, because if it's the Fever, like I told Miss ADP in the chat, if it's the Fever and they lose in the first round, you can hear that. You can imagine what the noise is gonna be like. Imagine what the noise is gonna be like until the next season. Imagine somebody head gonna be on the chopping block. People gonna want answers and be like, well, somebody gotta go, right? If it's the Liberty, Stewie's not having it. Right. Now, if it's the Mystics, if the Mystics can slide up there, which I don't know if the Mystics can slide back in where they were around that 4-5, I think they got that.
Yeah. Let's hear this presser real quick.
Yeah.
I'm curious about this pressure. Will y'all get to the mic? Y'all doing all that talking in the background. Get to the mic. Get to the mic. Get to the mic. That's all we want is you to get to the mic. I need you to get to the mic. Get to the mic. Mic. Let's see.
Tony, they coming, Tony. They probably had to call my JD5 see if they could come up real quick.
Girl, no, JD5, stay where you at, JD5. You ought to be hiding somewhere for what you need.
Let's go.
Great game, great night today. What were some of the things that we're talking about at halftime to really put this game out of reach and out of play?
At halftime, we just talked about continue to put our foot on the pedal. Sometimes we come out of the halftime and it's not the same intensity, but I think today it was, and just doing the same things we had been doing defensively. We talked a little bit about having even more help side and making sure we're having verticality. We were starting to put them to the line a lot. So those were two things that we really wanted to focus on.
First quarter.
What did you say?
Ryan.
No, you're good.
First quarter though, really were on fire. Points where were what was really that issue that concern?
I think just coming out the gate aggressive and looking for quick, easy shots. I think that really got me going. Obviously my teammates, once they realized I was hot, kept feeding me and, kept going off the ball screens. I think just being able to capitalize on their aggressiveness really helped because then they have to continue to switch up their defenses and then I can find something else that works. It continued to be me for that whole first quarter, but then after the game went on, they started switching up their defense and we still got open looks from my teammates.
We'll jump to Zoom. Go ahead, Emmanuel.
Rhyne, in a game like tonight, which one drives each other the most? A strong defensive performance like y'all had tonight, or the offense just clicking that pushes the game in a nature like this?
I think defense always, just because it gives us the confidence to get easy looks off of their turnovers or off of their mistakes because we know that we're really good in transition offense. And so making them take tough shots, getting them to make turnovers so we can get out and get easy looks, I think that helped. Obviously, when you see some shots go in, it helps us on the offensive end because now we're feeling confident. We've seen a bunch of baskets go in. So then it's just about continuing to find how we're getting them, continue to make them easy, continue to find the open person. But definitely defense I think that was the key tonight, holding them under 70 points.
Go ahead, Wilton.
Ryan, this first question is for you. You and Allisha both scored 29. What does it kind of feel like when you guys both are hitting y'all strides simultaneously at the same time?
I mean, it just feels good. I told her the last shot she took, I said, I wanted you to miss that so you didn't tag me. But no, it's just fun. And we make it a competition between ourselves sometimes, like just making each other better, making sure that we're staying aggressive. And, it worked out for us tonight. We're both hitting shots, and that's how we always wanted to be. We always want to both be on. And, obviously, we usually have more in double figures, but for us to play like we did, it kind of helped us stay above the water. So I think just being able to see her play as free as she did and me play as free as I did tonight is going to build confidence going into the next one.
And then the second question is for either of you. What would you take away the most from this game that could be truly applied to the upcoming games coming up? Obviously, it's a big win against Connecticut, but what's the one biggest thing you take away that you hope that you can carry over into the next game?
I think playing for 40 minutes. I think that we really just continue to work on what we wanted to work on, get better. I think our pace was really good in this game as well, getting to the next action. We talked about that a lot the last couple of days. So seeing that we were able to take what we saw in film and apply it to the next game is going to be huge because it's not just going to be one game where we have to apply it. We have to continue that for the rest of the season. And I think that it'll be beneficial for us.
Go ahead, Jamila.
Nas talks
I
fast,
actually have
y'all.
2 questions. Ryan, this is for you. How often do you practice that one-legged 3?
Never.
But just for both of you ladies, what was it like to be able to see your bench get some minutes in and be able to get some shots up and practice some defense as well?
Yeah, it was great. They work really hard. They come in on off days. They get extra reps after practice. So seeing the things that they've been working on onto the court and their emphasis, for some of them, they really want to emphasize their defense. And I thought they went out there and they were great. They communicated. They played really hard. Sometimes it's really hard for them to get these minutes depending on how the game goes. But they showed up today. They did their work and they were ready. And that's what we want to ask for is for them to be ready, but I think they did that, stepped up to the challenge on both ends of the floor.
Yes, indeed, they absolutely did.
Thank you. Carl has talked a couple of times in the past couple of weeks about that y'all have another gear that you could hit as you start to get closer to the playoffs. Do you think these past 2 games y'all are starting to find that extra gear?
I think we're definitely finding it. I think that there's been spurts for us throughout this season where we've kind of seen it, and then sometimes we take a couple of steps back. So we're really gonna be able to see that once we get to the final game, if we were able to kick it in. And I think a part of that is just building on each and every game and continue to get better every game and not taking any steps back.
Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Hey, I wanted to hear what they said. I already heard Carl. I'm not worried about Carl. But I definitely 100% agree with them because Carl just gonna come up there and say the same thing.
He do the same thing, Tony, every time.
He doesn't change. He doesn't change, y'all. So Carl knows bro, but I won't hear you right now. But yeah, absolutely. Just finishing that out, and I know that we're getting ready to go to the game. Get ready for the game. I got 4 minutes left before we tange on up out of here. Let's see. That was pretty much it. Back to what Wody Mack was saying, just the different impact of the playoffs and how everybody's going to look and the tangents of what the teams are capable of doing. But again, when you have a historic rebounder on any team, whether Angel is on this team, the Sky team, any team, this young lady's gonna always do the same thing where she is. I think that is just going to be impactful in the playoffs because the bigs are definitely going to have to play. None of these teams are small. None of these teams, people would like to say, "Hey, well, no, well, the dream was they're going to be one and done." They might be. Remember, they snuck in there in 24. That was supposed to be the Sky, but the Sky Angel got hurt. Then Camilla got re-injured herself. Then Kennedy Carter got hurt. You had a whole bench full of hurt players, and so the dream just snuck in there at that time. And then last year, they found their way and they were able to just ball out of control. So I don't even count 2024, right? So I'm counting 2025. Then 2026, you have open negotiations. There was free agents everywhere. Players got to maneuver around. The difference with this team this year, because folks like to pick on them a lot, right? But they had a bench. They had a solid bench that would come in and get things done, and having players such as Coffee and a few other players. So when you don't have a bench like that to kind of help capitalize on the win and help you in the deficit that you might have when it comes to the shooting ability or missed assignments, then you can't say that this team needs to be where they were last year. It just doesn't happen that way. You don't have the bench that you had last year. All you have is the starters that you had last year. That's it, with the exception of also keeping a player like Pow Pow. Outside of that, everybody else is new on the team. Her and Bree Jones, everybody else is new on the team. So you don't have that. And the team trying to build chemistry and find where they are together as a whole sometimes can take time. Should it be done by now? Yes. What all they do, I don't know. I'm not in their camp where I can tell you what do they do when they're not on camera or around us or letting us in their lives or vice versa, right? But I do want to say that this team can absolutely do what they want to do and push themselves as far as they need to if they play with the capability that they know how. And it's going to start from Ryan. Reese reached 375 rebounds of the season, setting a new dream single season franchise record. And she also reached the mark in in just 32 games. So she keeps making history. Every time she touched the floor, this young lady make history, regardless to whether they want to say rebounds, it doesn't matter. Just like assists matter, rebounds matter. Assists matter because you're able to get the individual the ball. Now you get a 50-50 chance that maybe they'll make it, maybe they won't. Same thing with the rebounds. You get to afford your team another opportunity to have the ball once they put the ball up, or they turn it over and you can pick it up, whatever, rebound, offensively, defensively, put back, or vice versa. You give your team second and third chance opportunities. So that's another big thing for all teams. That's something that each team must have. So you need her rebounding ability. You need her creating extra possessions. You need her battling inside like she always do. You need her doing all the dirty work, because that's absolutely what Angel Reese does. She does all the dirty work. And 15 rebounds while your team is winning by 35 is crazy. I'll take that any given time, because she could have just sat back and just said, hey, let's let the rest of the crew in and we can move forward from there. Now, chat, before we go, the question is, would you rather see Angel Reese score more points, or are you comfortable with games like this where Howard and Gray are your most leading scorers or carrying a team while Angel is boarding? That's the question. Answer that before we get up out of here. Answer that question. What do you say about that, ADP and Woody Mack?
I guess I'll be brief. It's a great asset to have a player that's doing the little things, like all the things that lead to contribute to winning.
Yeah.
But from my outside observation, some knowledgeable coaches are gonna either shift defense away from you if you're not a threat in certain parts of the court, making it harder for your other players. But as you see, that's generally when players are driving into the lane, attacking the basket where you can help. I can drop off somebody off a shooter out the corner who's not a great shooter, right? Or not a threat outside of the paint. But Leash and Ryan want to shoot jack up threes and JC. So ain't nobody really so pressed to go to the paint anyway. So I don't know if that necessarily is a detriment. High pick and roll and step back threes is not, you know what I mean?
Right.
I don't know how, unless you're going to trap off of said player, but then you're giving up possibly easy points, and then, easy points that way.
Right.
So I still feel like what she was doing, attempting those corner threes, what Carl Smesco was encouraging her, just like he encouraged Bree and BG, shoot the three, make them a threat, make them like, damn, I just can't leave you all together. Make yourself a threat.
Absolutely. Well, hey, so are we still saying, what do you say about that, ADP? You have something on that?
Well, I think with Angel, she's so versatile that, she gonna get it either way. Now that she know those threes are starting to fall, and we just don't know. She can go off and end the game with those threes, if you know what I'm saying.
Right.
And then far as getting inside the paint and stuff like that, you also got to run them back. She's getting triple teamed up inside that paint. So now, even though it may not be every game, she's finding out ways to still, protect the rim, to still get in there, get those rebounds, and to get her layups in there. If she's like what I've been seeing with Angel lately, if she's missing a layup, that's not because she, some of the time, not all the time, but some of the time it's because she's either in her head or it's just her miss. It's not something where she can't get it in there. You know what I'm saying? So
right.
I don't put limits on Angel. If she wasn't such a threat, they wouldn't do her in the way that they do her among all the other players in the league. And you got to look at it also. To me, I feel like the Dream is considered the black sheep of the W because everybody want to play their best game against the Dream, like it or love it. But why would you want to play your best game against a team that you don't feel like a threat? You know why? Because they are a threat. And we have not seen a game like yesterday with Allisha and Ryan on at the same time. We have not seen that in a minute. But let me tell you something, what I'm noticing with Ryan now, that she's starting to get back to the Rhyne Howard we know. But we don't know what she was going through behind closed doors. And when she spoke out her mouth and she said that, everybody in her village, everybody around her team didn't give up on her. So how could she give up on herself? That goes to tell you she had a lot going on. But now, from these last 2 games, we're seeing, and she made the next game might not be fully to herself, but at least we're seeing production. At least we're seeing her moving forward. At least she has accountability. That's one thing I can say about the Dream players. They have accountability. But Angel, you sometimes you gotta. It's like people want to put Angel in the inbox. You still trying to figure out who Angel Reese is. Angel not trying to figure out who she is. She knows who she is. And a coach, even though we get on Carl and stuff like that, Tony, even though we get on him, we're acting up sometimes or whatever, I believe he got some things in the bag. I don't think he's showing everything until we get into the playoffs. And that's what I got to say.
Oh, so look, T. Camilla said Angel has 384, not 375 rebounds on the season. Oh, okay. All right. I'm definitely gonna have to go back and re-pull that because it likes to give us, sometimes they give us funky data. But I'll definitely
They've
pull
been
that
talking about
up.
that too, Tony, again.
Yeah, I'm sitting here watching these scores. You got doggone Shepherd and doggone Fudd sitting down on the bench. Fudd, and she's still on protocol. Good night. Anyway, what up,
Which
Jimmy?
one? Shepherd still on protocol or Fudd?
Both of them still on. Both of them still on.
Oh, okay.
Right now it's 4-4. I'm watching the game. What up, Tiffy Cole?
Hey, y'all, I was listening.
Hey, Tiffy, I don't see her, Tony.
I'm in the corner.
Down here by me.
I'm in the corner. But no, yeah. I have to take the other approach, y'all. I gotta take the other approach.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, Tiff.
Let me hear me out. I believe when you are up that high, you gotta try out something new, right? I don't have no problem with, Ryan shooting 1 million shots and having 29 points. My thing is, I would have rather her gotten 22 points and 10 assists, right? Because when you are shooting well, that's great. But you need to also practice passing and finding your open players, because when you're not shooting well, you can lean back on that skill set you practice when you're going against bums. You feel me?
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, bet you got 29 points, but those 5 assists, I would have liked 5 more assists. Show us what you can do, because you can't be a ball dominant guard like Ryan is and not be a good passer, because that's the difference between Arike. No shade, no tea. I like Arike, but that's the difference between Arike or Kelsey Mitchell before she got, before Caitlin Clark came. Kelsey Mitchell, you gave her the ball, you weren't getting it back, right? She was going to shoot, she was going to get her points, and they were going to lose games. But Kelsey Mitchell underneath Stephanie White's system, and I hate to bring up the Fever because this is a dream space, but Kelsey Mitchell under Stephanie White's system, she gonna get you 30-something points, and she might also give you 6 or 7 assists, and that's the difference between winning and losing. So to me, I'm like, all right, Ryan, I want 29 points. This isn't shooting practice. You should be practicing passing. You should be practicing giving Borlase the balls. You should be practicing moving off ball. because when it comes to the Fever and the Aces, you're not going to get to shoot those open shots, right? The Connecticut Sun is tanking. So I would prefer Angel to have more points on these nights. I would prefer a game like last game where you had 3 players in 20 points and 6 players in double digits. It's a problem to me when you got 2 players that have almost 30 points and the rest of your starters got like 6, 7, 8 points. That tells me you're doing hero ball instead of passing the rock. So you're not practicing good habits. That is the difference between championships and, yeah, you might make all WNBA, but the reason you've been ghost this past month is because you haven't been practicing passing. So to me, I'm like, all right, get your stats up or whatever. But at the end of the day, that's not winning basketball. That's not championship basketball. I would prefer for them to pass a little bit more. And when you have these easy teams, don't get me wrong, get your shots up, get your shots up, whatever, get your game back, get your confidence back. But you got to practice good habits. You got to practice different plays. It's great to see the bench get minutes. And this goes on Carl too. I can't come up here without whacking Carl once or twice. Okay?
I know.
But, it doesn't make sense to me when you're up by 40 points and you're putting the whole bench in. There will never be a scenario in the playoffs when 5 members of the bench are on the floor. Let me correct that. There should never be a scenario where 5 players of the bench are on the floor in the playoffs. So why would you do that in this game? It was giving preseason. It was giving preseason matchup instead of a game that's in the 4th quarter of the season where you need to be practicing different matchups different lineups that you might end up using.
Different lineups for sure. Yeah.
So that I was just like, okay, you guys are just treating this like a preseason game at this point, shooting whatever shot, Again, Angels defense was phenomenal. Rhyne had a hot shooting night. Allisha Gray did great, but it's a problem to me when 2 of your starters got 30 points and everybody else doesn't even reach 10. That shows me that you're just having fun instead of practicing things that you're going to need to lean on in the playoffs.
Or things that you need to lean on for your very next game against the Fever.
Hello.
Right.
Hello.
Yeah, true.
Because what happens when
that was definitely well said. That was definitely well said. Because I think I said that last night a little bit, Tifico. Why is it that you got you got to have somebody and it was like, no, let them off the bench. They need to go on the bench. The stars, but you can't. That's not reality, right? Reality when you're playing against a team, the top teams like Fever and Lynx and the Aces and stuff like that. How is it that your players that are on the bench, as you just said, have an opportunity to really be able to mesh with a starter, right? You put them in there now and they're lost, or they go and they turn over the ball. They don't know where to go. You're trying to, because one, they're nervous because they don't want to mess up. They don't want to interfere with what you have going on as the starters, but then you don't get to get comfortable with them. And we know that practice, you're supposed to practice, play like you practice how you play, right? But if you do not practice that way, where you always not mixing, now we know that they'll mix and match for the most part in practice, but you want to do it based on the lineups how you want it to look. So I totally agree with you on that for sure. I totally agree with you. You got anything, ADP, on that?
Well, no, because Tiffany always come up here. She gonna come up here. She done evaluated the case and everything.
I know.
She don't give a mic drop. But she did, Tiff, you did say something in the chat. And I know some people don't like to hear that. How you what you say about the Aces in the dream?
Yeah, they're a PG away from knocking off the Aces. The dream is a point guard away.
Mm-hmm. I can attest.
Mm-hmm. That is very
because neither team has a decent bench. You can get Jewel Lord to come in there, and Jewel Lord can give you 0 for 20 minutes, or she could give you 2, or maybe she get hot and she give you 10, right? But it doesn't spell big points, because you get that sometimes again out of Barlace. Barlace reminds me of Lloyd. 1 minute she giving you a point, 1 minute she giving you none, next minute she giving you 17. So it's just crazy. She went away from shooting the 3 ball, which I think she needs to go back to. I thought that she was really good. She had a very mixed game when she started, but then she said, "Yeah, they remind me of who I am, and I just got to remember I'm that girl." And so now when she comes to the game, all she does is she drives to the basket. But you got to have more than just the intangibles of driving to the basket. If you're not going to score or you can't get the drop off, the drop pass, then you're gonna have to stand out there and try to shoot that 3 ball. But whatever, shoot a midi. I would prefer y'all shoot a midi at best. But that is one of those things that it's just my opinion. It's just my opinion.
Yeah, y'all brought up some good points.
But we do have the Fever Dallas game on. Big girl told me to get my benediction together and get ready to get my blood burn out of here because we are now halfway into the into the first quarter. There's 4 minutes and 8 seconds to go. It is 9-6 Dallas. And so we can get back on later if you want ADP because I'm still not done with this, but I still had a little bit more to talk about, but because the game is on and I put a lot of information down this time, and sometimes I just kind of make it real quick. But this is definitely something that I wanted to kind of put up and go through thoroughly because we're getting ready to play the FIFA next. And it's important to break that down how it needs to go. But with that being said, guys, I got some questions for you. Who gets the player of the game, which we knew that it was going to end up being Ryan? Did they give it to Rod? Did they give it to Reese? I didn't even see who they gave player of the game to.
I don't know.
It's tough to see who they gave it to. So that was one of my questions. You're welcome, Tiffy Cole. Thank you for coming up. I appreciate it. How dangerous is the Atlanta Dream when Ryan and Leash are both scoring like that? I think they're dangerous if everybody's involved. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Tiffy Cole just said that. They're dangerous if they can score like that and get the rest of the team involved. That's what makes them so dangerous. And my next question is, let's see what I put it. How big is Angel setting Atlanta Dream single season rebounding record? How big is it? Is it a big one of those things where you say, man, it's just that's like one of those things that's going to be in history. Of course, it's going to be in history books because nobody's going to be able to surpass it unless you get another prolific rebounder like that. But what is the big thing there? It says Tony, the bench losing confirmed. Oh, I think you mean they're losing confidence. I think they're losing confidence too because when they come in the game, and thanks for that William Roy. Look, they lose confidence because one, they're not mixed up. Tiffy just said that when you put the entire bench in and let them play together, and they don't have an opportunity to play with any of the starters, when they do need to go in with the starters, they look lost.
Right.
And so you need them to be able to play on one accord. That's how that goes. Then what is the one thing Atlanta still needs to improve before the playoffs? Again, getting someone to really be able to handle that ball and take care of that ball and set the team, the rest of the players on the floor up for great success. That's my take on that for sure.
Yeah. That's what they're going to have to do, Tony.
Yes. But guys, hey, thank you for coming up, ADP. Wody Mac, I know he's already gone to watch the game. I appreciate him coming up. Definitely always, bar none, for our girl Tiffy Cole. Always welcome. Dream fans, 104-69. That was the game. That was the hot take. That's what we're going to call it, y'all. We're going to call it a hot take. But the statement was a great win. It was not one of those teams where you can kind of scream, yay, we bust that ass. It ain't one of those. What is one of those, right? Rhyne Howard, 29. Allisha Gray with 29. Angel Reese, 15 rebounds. And the new Atlanta Dream single season rebounding record. The Dream moved to 21-12. We know what that is, where they're sitting. They're sitting at 4 right now with the Fever at 5. The Fever win this game. They'll go back to 4. We will go to 5. And I don't know if I was going to say, I don't know if the Wings go to 8 from 7. I think they stay at 7 because they are still 1 game above Washington if they lose this. If they win this, they're 2 games above Washington, and they will remain 7. But that's how that go. With that being said, guys, thank you all so much for coming. ADP.
Yes, ma'am.
You and I, we're gonna catch them on the next what?
On the next one.
On the next rebound. We're out of here, y'all. Thank you so much. Hit the like button if you haven't on your way out.